Yeah, so I mean, I was at NASA. I was very fortunate to have had the opportunity to do some incredible things there. I mean, when I started back in 2006, I was given the opportunity to lead the partnership with Google and work directly with the founders there in the Google Earth team and do some just really cool stuff. And it was really through that that working with Google that I really came to fully understand how much of a force multiplier it was to give every one of your employees access to infinite resources, compute and storage resources. And because that's really what people at Google feel like they've got at their disposal with the platform that they've built. And that's really what kind of inspired this whole thing from the beginning. So when I was at NASA, I wanted to let scientists that were literally feasting on scraps of grant money to buy Beowulf clusters and put them under their desks. I wanted to see what would happen if you just opened up not infinite, we didn't have that kind of money, but a relatively large, by their modest standards, amount of compute and storage infrastructure, and incredible things happened. And so we replicated that at a small scale. We had hundreds of teams using the system. We had the White House see what we were doing, and one of the administration's kind of key federal open government initiatives called USAspending.gov. We were asked to host that on the platform. So we were really quite honored to have all these opportunities when I was there. When I left, I'd been a startup CEO before, so I've done a few other startups. I was at Classmates.com very early. I was at a travel startup called Escapia, which was sold to HomeAway fairly recently. And I've always been in a kind of founder CEO role. And when I was at NASA, interestingly, I always viewed my role there as an entrepreneur, and I viewed my team as a startup team. And I would try to find people from across the organization and motivate them the same way I motivate teams within startups, which is to give them something really important to do, let them know how their contribution can help make the thing we're trying to do actually happen. With NASA, the thing with NASA was we had the opportunity to inspire a community like this. And I think a lot of OpenStack success has to do with people that deep down inside were inspired by the space program and wanted to contribute code to a project that they knew would help NASA explore the solar system. And those are the words I uttered at OSCON.
I know there's been changes within NASA, and there always are, and I know there are multiple divisions, agencies, locations. What's your relationship and engagement with them now, and is there any code, aside from that original 9,000 lines that came in for Nebula, while under NASA, that are still coming from NASA?
Well, the team did continue to make contributions past that initial 9,000 line. There was actually a fairly sustained project there until fairly recently. The way I look at this, NASA spends billions of dollars trying to commercialize technology. Tries to take all this money we invest in the space program and translate it into value for the average American. What is NASA doing for me? And when the best examples you can think of are Tang and Velcro and heart defibrillator, OpenStack could possibly be one of the most successful spin-offs in the history of NASA. If it really fulfills its destiny of reshaping the entire $3 trillion IT industry and enabling a whole new era of companies to innovate and compete and to disrupt and to empower people and companies with this kind of same infrastructure that these internet companies have had, that's huge. And I think what NASA did, and it's to their credit, is they realized that OpenStack had gone from this small little research project. The Nova team on the Nebula Nova team had gotten this thing so far so quickly, it now could buy it from Dell or HP or a whole host of companies. And so, because NASA didn't need to be in this role of incubator anymore. It could be what it normally does, which is just to procure the technology from the commercial ecosystem.
Sure.
And so the fact that that happened so quickly is the only anomaly there. But I think NASA did the right thing by saying, we're going to step back, let the private sector do what it does best. We don't need to do anything more here. Our job, mission accomplished. Our work is done.